In today's video, we are jumping into a mod that is all about Iron Man, where you can build a ton of different suits, each with their own unique abilities and powers, and even upgrade your arc reactor to become the next Tony Stark in Minecraft. So let's just jump straight into it. So I think it's pretty safe to say that on this channel, we absolutely love anything Iron Man related. And unlike some of the previous Iron Man videos that I've made, this is modern Minecraft. You can see it right there at the top, 1.20.1. Because as you can probably tell from the recipes and this little item up here, this is an add-on or a hero pack for the Palladium mod. And as soon as I saw like the screenshots and everything, I was like, damn, we really need to check this out. So enough yapping, let me show you how to start and actually become Iron Man. So as you can imagine, to be Iron Man, you are going to need one of these right here, which if I pick that out, it is in fact an arc reactor. And the crafting recipe for this is actually super cheap considering what you get for it. And you just put it in a crafting grid just like this, and it will pop out an arc reactor right here. So once you've actually got the arc reactor, all you need to do is just right click. There you go. You can see it goes right on our chest there, already looking so sick. And this is where we can go ahead and press E right here, go to the power slot, and then this is where all of our abilities are going to be, or at least the passive upgrades that you can get with the arc reactor. So if I just go ahead and just unlock all of these right here. Forgot to mention that you might also need a bunch of XP whilst you're doing this. And then we can unlock the final one, which is with this upgrade, the arc reactor will recharge itself when you are not wearing the armor. And you can see that visually, as we've upgraded that, the arc reactor on our chest has turned to like the later ones that we see in the films and the comics and all that good stuff. And the whole thing that I read there about it recharging is that eventually, if you do use the suits too much and you haven't got those upgrades, the arc reactor is basically going to power down and you're not going to be able to do anything. So definitely worth getting those upgrades before anything else. But if you're like me and you prefer the simple sort of like rounded arc reactor rather than the triangle one right here, all you need to do is go into like the curious menu down to the accessories right here. And then you've got a choice of 4 options on the left there and a little model to show you what it's going to look like. But I'm going to go for the second one right there just for the classic look. And before you actually get to use any of these suits right here, you do need to craft one of these right here, a blueprint holder, which is just all paper surrounded by a blue dye right there. And then if we go ahead and press E again, go into the power slot, you'll see we get a different icon that pops up there. And then this is the real skill tree. I mean, look how many abilities and different suits there are. And this is basically how you unlock all the different variations. And I will say that in this mod, there is absolutely tons of different suits. Just taking a little scroll down, here's some of them right here. There's actually tons of these things. So whilst we're in the blueprint sort of menu right here, you can see that we've got like the Mark 1 right there in the middle. And just like the passive arc reactor abilities, we actually need to spend experience levels on this. This one's 0. And you can see by doing that, we get the armor chest plate, the armor boots, the helmet, and the leggings blueprints, all for the Mark 1, which is that one right there, the absolute classic. You know, the one that he was able to build in a cave with a box of scraps. And now that you've got all that done, all you need to do is basically create this stuff right here, the iron and gold alloy, which is just a simple iron ingot and a gold ingot together. But unlike his later suits, which actually use this sort of like iron and gold alloy right here, for the first one, you're just going to need a bunch of simple iron to create the first suit. So right here, we've got the chest. You just surround it with the blueprint in the middle, the same with the legs, the helmet. You know, you get the idea. So once we've got the arc reactor, the blueprints, and all the stuff that we need from this is when we can actually throw this stuff on right here. You know, nothing too crazy considering this is the Mark 1. And unlike other Palladium mods where you have the abilities on like the bottom right or anything like that, this one is completely blank. Which really quick, I will explain that these sort of first 3 suits will actually require you to stand on this platform right here, which is the armor placement blocks, which makes sense considering that a lot of these earlier suits definitely took a lot more effort getting on and off. So as we do walk on this, we have the abilities pop up right there. The first one being V, which is like a half iron, half human like sort of face. And we go ahead and press that. And after basically activating the suit on top of these blocks, that is when you get all the other abilities right there, including the option to lift the helmet up, which for this one, yeah, I don't know why this is like the only suit that actually does this, but nobody talk about my forehead in the comments. But since this is the first suit, we do get things like the flamethrower right here, which I'm not sure if it actually like puts stuff on fire or not. I don't think it does. But if we do have a villager right here, it is going to set them on fire just like that. And it does quite a bit of damage, as you saw right there. And we also have the choice to fire off a rocket with our left hand right there. There you go. As you can see, that is just as dangerous as well. We do also have the ability for flight right there, which I don't think goes on for too long. So if we hold Y, there we go. We sort of just fly up a little bit and you can see it draining, and eventually it is going to run out just like we see in the film. So just as you'd expect, this suit is definitely the most basic out of all of them, which means that every single suit that was created after this one just keeps getting more and more powerful until you can literally go to space. Like if you have a space mod involved, you can definitely fly to space with this mod. So skipping Mark 2 right here, we do have the Mark 3, which is pretty much the first time that we see it in the classic colors, all the way back from Iron Man 1. And of course, this having the same sort of effect where you have to collect all the armor pieces, walk over these blocks right here, press V, and there you go. And already with this one, you can see an improvement. We've almost got like a mini HUD right here, and even different sound effects when you're walking around as well. So one of the main abilities that we have with this suit is the arc beam, which if we go ahead and press right there, it looks so sick. And it doesn't last for too long, as you saw right there, but it definitely does a fair bit of damage, as you see right there, and it has decent range as well. And this being one of the most classic suits, we can actually fly. Look at this. And comparing this to like 5th superhero mod, it actually feels pretty similar. Like I thought it was going to be really different when it comes to the flight, but it is very, very similar. But you know, still being one of the earlier suits, it's definitely not the quickest one out there. But one of the coolest features about these suits is that when you actually fly down and hit the ground, oh yeah, you actually get a superhero landing pretty much every single time that you land with this thing, which is just so sick. So moving down the timeline of the Iron Man suits, we also have the briefcase one right there, which with myself included is definitely one of my most favorite Iron Man suits of all time. So once we equip that, you'll be able to see that we do actually just carry around the briefcase right there, keeping it classy walking down the street with the Iron Man suit. But this is one of the first suits that doesn't actually require us to go over those blocks in the middle there. As you can see, we can transform pretty much at will with the suitcase. And if we go ahead and press that, there we go. Look at that. Now, as this mod is still in development, most of the sound effects aren't actually included yet, but you can already imagine how cool this is going to be when some of the sound effects are fully implemented. And unlike the other ones, this one actually doesn't take my hair away, which is really appreciated. So I say it every time, but it always is just the little things in these mods. We get the same arc reactor blast right here, just like that. And a really cool thing about the arc reactor blast is that if we crouch and then hold it down, we can actually change the power output. So we have medium power, low power, and then we also have high power. So if I get another volunteer right here and use the high power, yeah, that's going to do a lot more damage a lot more quickly. We can obviously still fly with this suit as well, as it's not one of the most powerful suits, as it's pretty much just like a temporary one. So again, it's not going to be the quickest thing in the world, but still just flying around is still awesome. And we of course get the superhero landing, just like that. But with this suit, its final ability is actually having the repulsors, which when toggled, you can actually use your left arm, you can use your right arm, you can use both at the same time. It's pretty insane. So even when you're in like flight, you can actually use like dual arms right here. And as you can see, my aim is actually pretty terrible, but you can use the individual arms as you want, which is such a cool little touch. I just realized I broke the billboard too. Might as well break all of it now. There we go. And then to use your regular arms again, you just need to toggle that off, and then you're completely back to normal Minecraft. So to get out of this suit, it's pretty much the exact same like what we did before. We just go ahead and press V. There you go. And we even get the briefcase back. Look at that. That is such a cool feature. Yeah, the suitcase armor just goes down in history as one of the best. Like, I don't care what you say. It's definitely one of the best. Which is where we move on to these two suits behind me. And even though they look the same on the mannequin, they are completely different suits. So let's start with the one on the left. So if we grab this one right here, this one actually comes as a bracelet. So if we throw this on, you'll see that in the inventory, it goes in this little slot right here on our chest. And again, we get the option to suit up. But this one, there is a reason why I left this one later in the video, because it is actually insane. So as we hold V right here, you will see this giant sort of wheel menu that has popped up. And as you can see from the little icons right there, they're different parts of like the body. So let's just say we want the right leg. Look at that. Look at that. Or even say the chest. There you go. So with this being the Mark 42 suit that we see in the film, it basically just like flies towards you and armors you up. So you can actually do this piece by piece if you really wanted to, but if you were in some sort of battle and you needed the suit quickly, you select this top one right here, and look at that. That is the coolest thing I've ever seen when it comes to Iron Man in Minecraft. Like, damn. And this works the same way, so you can actually take off individual parts. So if I go ahead and take off the shoulders right there and even the helmet, you'll be able to see that we can actually still use the flight on this suit. So basically they all work as individual pieces, which again is just such a cool feature. So let's throw this back on right here. And similar to the other suits, we get the arc reactor. Pretty classic. We of course get the option to close and open the mask right there, but if we hold Y, this is where we have a bunch more abilities coming into play right here. Like we can even control like the flight speed right here. We've got flares, and you know, you pretty much get all the other abilities that the suit before it had, and just making you look that much cooler when you do suit up. And another little bonus with this suit is that you are a hell of a lot quicker than the previous suits. So pretty much every time there's a newer suit upgrade or anything like that, it is going to go a little bit quicker and be a little bit tougher as well. And there you go. When I put it back on the mannequin right there, there's the actual rightful texture for it. I'm not sure why it had this one to begin with, but regardless, that is the classic Mark 42 right there. So the last suit I want to show you guys in today's video is this one right here, which if we actually look at what it says, it is the Mark 85, aka the Nano suit armor. So we go ahead and throw that on, and obviously straight away you're not going to notice anything too crazy, but just like before, we get the option to have all the different parts of the suit show up. So if we go full body right here, you press the arc reactor, and there you go. The Nano suit just crawls all the way around you to complete the final suit. And this is so sick. Like, I was never really the biggest fan of the Nano suits, but Minecraft Iron Man suits have kind of changed my mind on that. And so being a Nano suit, you also get access to all these different things right here. And there are so many to pick from and show off. Like the repulsor shield right here, which just comes right out of our arm. It's like a hologram right there. We can also pull out a crazy blade right there as well. Like, it's basically just infinite weapons when it comes to the Nano suit. Or if you're feeling up to it, you can even bring out the boosters right here as well. I mean, look look at this. Like, this mod is actually ridiculous. And just the fact that this is on like the modern versions of Minecraft, I mean, I can guarantee there's going to be a surge of Iron Man videos coming soon, because having this be the same version of a bunch of different mods, like, the possibilities are basically endless at this point. We can also use the maximum pulse right here, which if we use... Oh, this guy's definitely gonna die. There we go. And from the front, it looks just like it does in the movies, with all of them popping out right there to give you one hell of a shot on whatever you're aiming at. And what I've showed you so far in this mod is literally like the most bare bones version of it, because like I said before, there are so many different versions. I'm pretty sure they've got like over like 50 or so suits in here. Like, we've got like the Mark 50, we've got the 47, the 23, the 85, the 22. Like, there's pretty much every Iron Man suit you could ever want in here. And there's even AI cards that you can have in each suit, so you can actually have like Jarvis, Ultron, KE, Motherboard, Helen. You even have like the Stark glasses right there, which as far as I know pretty much lets you control any of these suits when you're just chilling at home, so you never actually have to leave the house to go into battle. So it's pretty much a win-win all round. So yeah, if you really like Iron Man and you were like hoping that there'd be like a modern version for this, this is it. It's finally here, guys. It's definitely already here. So definitely check this mod out if you're a big Iron Man fan. And if you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. But as always, I will see you guys in the next one.
Bye.